Hello and welcome to Reddit or Not. I am Ron Chabuduo. Wow, today we are going to look at some pro revenge. Video games are more important than chores? That's some nice internet you have. It would be a shame if something were to happen to it. When I was in third year of university, I lived with a couple of housemates. One was super awesome, and the other guy turned out to be completely trucking useless. He wouldn't help out with the chores at all, not even just turning on the dishwasher when it was full. He just wanted to play computer games all day. I mean, I get it. Gaming is awesome. Me and the awesome housemate were playing a lot of Lineage 2 at the time, but we still made time for real life stuff. Eventually, me and awesome housemate had enough of the other guy not pulling his weight. I was in control of our internet connection, including operating our router, a Linux box shoved under my desk. We hatched a plan. I wrote a script that periodically would scan through the NAT state table on the router, a list of all connections the router was handling between the internal computers and the internet. Identify connections from Poopy Housemate's PC and then would randomly, in descending order of likelihood, do nothing. Forge a FIN packet that appeared to be from housemate's PC and send it to the remote server. Forge a FIN packet that appeared to be from the remote server and send it to housemate's PC. Forge an RST packet that appeared to be from housemate's PC and send it to the remote server. Forge an RST packet that appeared to be from the remote server and send it to housemate's PC. Drop the connection from the NAT state table. To explain this to the non-initiated, a FIN packet is a notification on the side of the connection that the other side would like to terminate the connection. There is a negotiation that happens between both sides to tear down the connection, so both sides know about it. This is a graceful disconnect. A RST packet is a hard disconnect. Drop the connection immediately, don't negotiate with the other side, don't send any more packets, just stop. Removing the connection from the state table effectively stops all traffic in either direction because the router no longer knows about the connection, but neither side of the connection knows this has happened. The last three options in the list are particularly nasty because it leaves one or both sides of the connection thinking that they are still connected. Now understand, this is way back when WoW first launched, and that is pretty much the only game Poopy Housemate was playing. If you played WoW around that time, you'll remember the long queues to get onto a server, 20 plus minutes at least. Imagine, if you will, what would happen in an MMO if you tell the client to disconnect, but the server thinks the client is still connected. The client quits immediately with a "you have been disconnected" message, but the server won't log the user out for a long time, at least several minutes, and in the worst case, will continue doing the last commanded action, like walk forward. In the case of early WoW, you couldn't even log in and wait in the queue again because the server thought you were already logged in. You had to wait 5 to 10 minutes for it to kick you off, then join the queue for 20 plus minutes. As time went on, we pestered the bad roommate to help with the chores. Each time he refused, we would bump the likelihood that one of the non-do-nothing options would happen. Every time it killed one of his WoW connections, we would hear a loud fudge, somewhat quietly at first, then louder and louder over time. Then he started literally smashing his keyboard and or mouse and at least once his monitor, which left some nice dead pixels in the shape of a fist. When we moved out, he removed, I kid you not, a decent sized box full of smashed mice. It got to the point where he would log in, wait in the queue, get into the game, start moving around, and within 5 to 10 minutes, it would kill his connection. And after he eventually got back in, he would often find his character dead from NPCs or at the bottom of a cliff because his character had continued to walk forward for 5 minutes. Sometimes he wouldn't even make it out of the queue before being disconnected. It was hilarious to us, but he was absolutely raging. Even more hilariously, my script only looked at connections to WoW. Other connections to, for example, Ventrilo were unaffected, so his housemate would be on vent with his clanmates would drop out of the game, but his voice chat would be completely unaffected. Eventually, at least 3 to 4 weeks later, he came and asked me if there was something wrong with the internet connection. I said something to the effect of, "Oh yeah, I applied an update to the router to make the internet connection as reliable as the person using it." He got the hint, but still didn't help with the housework. He put up with a particularly unusable internet connection until we moved out, which wasn't long after that. Meddle not in the affairs of system admins, for your network connections are crunchy and are tasty with ketchup. Something I've learned is to never, ever annoy the people who make your food or the IT guys. If you do, it might result in a cataclysm. Also, I just can't believe it is that hard to do some chores around the house. Up next is Don't Plagiarize Me. This story takes place a couple years ago, but it's probably my most satisfying story of revenge. Many years ago, I was big into World of Warcraft. I specifically liked something called model editing, which is a term for a type of hacking where you change client-side files to modify the client-side experience only. Mostly aesthetic stuff, but some things which affect the server side that I never messed with because I didn't want to get banned. I was a member on some forums for this type of thing, where people shared their projects with the community. I saw it as a form of art, pretty much. Couple of years ago, 2010, I hadn't played World of Warcraft for some time, and my account was inactive. But I decided to go back and check some old threads. I posted and reread old comments on the model editing forums, for nostalgia purposes only. Instead of navigating through the website to find my old post, I just did a Google search to find it. The top hit was a thread on some forum I never heard of, but with my exact same title, text, and pictures. I, of course, decided to do some snooping and found that this person had reposted just about every single thread I had posted without giving me any credit at all, as if he had created them himself. Interestingly, They were all fairly new posts too. I was pretty annoyed, but figured that there really wasn't anything I could do. The download link he posted had long since been taken down by the hosting website, and even if it still worked, the model edit wouldn't have been compatible with the many years newer version of WoW. And yet, he was still getting positive comments and upvotes. The only option I could see was to post a few annoyed comments on some of his posts about how he was stealing my work. After getting no response, I decided that I would go to my PhotoBucket account and remove the old pictures. So essentially his threads would be saying, "Look at this model edit I did," followed by 0 pictures and a download link that doesn't work. However, when I got there, I found a much more satisfying option. Apparently, PhotoBucket allows you to edit your pictures and then replace the original file with the newly edited one. Armed with this new resource, I overlaid some text on one of the pictures in his newest thread, giving credit to myself and posting a link to the original thread and forum. Within hours, there were negative comments showing up on all his threads about how he's a plagiarist. He quickly took down my edited picture and posted a short credit to me at the bottom of his post. But the damage was done. People started posting original links in other threads that he'd stolen. From what I can tell, he eventually became a bit of a pariah. Wow, OP, it's like you went on a burning crusade against him. Talking about World of Warcraft, does anyone know why rogues wear leather armor? Because it's made of hide. To my current subscribers, thank you for being a part of this community. Please remember to help me grow by liking and sharing. If this is your first time here, I would love to have you subscribe to Reddit or Not, the channel that will mildly entertain you. Always remember, you are awesome and you matter. Let your voice be heard. You can share your thoughts, stories, and comments below. Until next time, Ron out.